push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my satisfaction. 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 Satisfaction.
Push me, and then just hurt me, till I can get my satisfaction. 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 Satisfaction.
Well, back here in the Lincoln King limo. Cheers. It's a little bit bumpy. Have a bit of champagne. Now, I managed to escape from work.
I know.
How hard is it?
Yeah.
Do you have a life?
It's a very busy life. I describe it as being on a roller coaster at 100 miles an hour and juggling 10 balls at the same time.
How do you balance it all? Like, well, what are your hours at 10?
One is always striving for balance, but not necessarily achieving it. But the hours vary a lot. People think they're pretty slack because basically there's 3 short days and 2 long days.
Yep.
The short days start about 1:30 when I arrive at the office and answer the phone calls and the emails and the mail and talk to whoever the network executives need to talk to you about whatever.
So how much research do you do before you go on air then?
Well, then I got to make up at 2:15 precisely.
Yeah.
And have the hair washed and the makeup done, and then you're back at your desk pretty much by 3:15. And then you start talking to the producers about what will be covered on the news that night. If you're doing live crosses in particular, then you need to do a little bit of research. So you're up there if you get a curly
Is that a bit
answer
hard?
thrown at you. No, it's not hard.
No?
I think if you keep in touch with the news, and I'm sure most newsreaders do.
You'd want to.
Yes, you'd want to. And reading your papers, then you should have a good background knowledge anyway.
So do you have voice coaching for it? Does like the news people have certain voices?
When I was 20, I did a radio course at Taylor's Announcers Academy of Australia.
There you go. What's your radio voice to your television voice? Is there a difference?
Oh, I don't think so.
No? So
No, my television voice is probably slightly deeper and a little more serious.
But you'd have to change it obviously for the stories you tell, wouldn't you? Because obviously if say the Twin Towers is going down, you can't use your zoo voice that the chimpanzees are now working.
I think what I strive for is to speak as naturally as possible. I really detest the 60 minutes speak where their inflections are so almost modulated to suit a certain rhythm rather than what they're actually talking about. They deliberate over so many things. And it's very contrived to me.
It is, yeah.
I think if you can just speak it as naturally as you can, and obviously you have to put in some heavier inflections and pauses than you would in normal conversation, but to try and speak as naturally as possible, I think is the best way.
And what goes beyond the camera, you probably got guys canning going, oh, the prompter's busted and improvise?
Oh, well, no, you've got your scripts in front of you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why you always have.
Because have you ever had moments where you've just gone, the next story is about to get on and it,
or you get given a script, or sometimes not given a script and it comes up on auto cue because something is broken only moments before and they haven't got time to give you a copy, then you're reading what we call reading blind. Because you only get 2 or 3 lines on the auto cue per line. You don't know where the sentence ends, so you're kind of reading going, and Joe Brown went to the supermarket today, hoping there's an and you're not going to sound like anything because if you say the inflection in the wrong place, it does sound.
Have you had any sort of stuff-ups?
Oh yeah, there've been plenty.
I mean, that's what I watch it for. I'm waiting for all the stuff-ups.
I remember once when we were reading the news, and because there's often 3 of us on the desk with Sport and Mal and myself, with Mal and me both reading, there was one point where I actually forgot I was on next, and then I looked at the screen and saw my face and went,
oh, here I am.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Or a cough. I remember watching.
Dory moments, we call them. Have you watched Finding Nemo?
Yes.
The vague Dory character?
Yes, a Dory moment.
Yeah.
Oh, you've already nicknamed it. Because how many girls are on the news all up? I mean, this is...
In terms of commercial television, Monday to Friday, main bulletins, at the moment I'm the only one, but then there's Joe Hall, Jennifer Hansen, Weekend News for 7 and 9.
Because that was a rare thing, wasn't it? Back in the, how long ago since the first woman actually made news?
I suppose so. I think probably one of the first, Annette Ellison read the news at 10. She was the first female to read the news, but then, of course, Yana made a huge impact.
Oh, she did.
And so did Joe Pearson as
Do you have to have a certain look, though? Is there an image that they're requiring? Or
yes, there is. Yes.
What's the news?
This is not the
image, because we're on our way.
I think, because I'm going out tonight to something which has a theme. I'm dressed for that. But I think it's also nice.
Spice up the news a little bit.
Well, I would like to, but we do have moments where there is what we call cleavage infringement.
Oh.
Where if I'm wearing a jacket and there's a camisole that comes down to maybe here, wardrobe might be called in to
top it up.
Because anal
There is, I know on cable there's a show called The Naked News where they eventually get dressed and it's ridiculous.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
What satisfies me? Oh, a good book, a good movie, a good conversation.
Well, many things.
Dive into that.
Scaring people satisfies me.
Scaring people.
Probably why.
Which way would you scare them? Really beautiful.
Spooky. That kind of scare.
And then just
Yes.
Watch out
till
for
I
you
can
then in a
get
dark
my
alleyway, I'd say.
satisfaction.
That's probably right on.
What satisfies you?
Being happy, being with my friends, having a laugh.
Silent pause there for a
Well,
moment.
because that's a serious question. Yeah.
But no, it's a good question. Being with friends is always a good
Yeah,
thing.
friends and family. That's what makes me happiest.
It's a perfect thing, really. So tell me, what satisfies you?
What satisfies me in life, or
You answer that any way you want it.
okay, on a purely superficial level, creamy soda and burger rings. On a deeper level, realizing my dreams.
Fantastic. I'm a burger ring fan.
Satisfaction.
So is this something you've always wanted to do, was read news?
No, journalism was the initial interest in
Okay.
writing, I suppose, because at school that was the thing that I really enjoyed and had a
So
passion for literature and writing. And
So how long ago?
I suppose all my life I've loved reading.
Okay.
And
So you were a nerd at primary school then, kind of thing?
But I read in the car. I would just love to stay up late at night reading in my bed on holidays.
What
on
a
the beach.
perfect child you are.
No, I wasn't perfect.
No?
Oh God, no.
No?
I just loved
Oh,
reading. I did love
yeah.
reading. No, that was my thing, and I suppose as a result loved writing. Kept a diary from when I was 9.
Wow, you still got them?
Oh, I have.
Oh, I want to know what's in the
Oh,
diary.
no.
What's in the diary?
But I think they could help with Veronica, my daughter.
Okay.
When she's older, I can go back to the teen years and go, see, that's
First boyfriend then.
all that
What's the
stuff.
crush?
All that stuff.
Do you remember
I've
that?
got all that there, yeah.
Yeah? Oh, come on. Who's the first crush?
Can't say on camera.
Oh, yes, you can. How old were you?
Oh, first crush, let me think.
Wasn't your teacher? No. There's a lot of people have their teacher.
No.
No? You're going to have to dive back into
No, I
those
just-
diaries.
Oh, I think probably the little boy who lived up the road, one door up.
Oh, okay. The
David,
boy next door, the David.
When I was about 10.
10.
Yeah.
So did you ever think you're going to be where you are when you're at 10?
I think once I got into television
Yeah.
and started reading news updates occasionally, I thought this
That's
is
it.
where I want to be.
You found
and I
your
think
place.
that you just get a buzz from reading live to camera, and
Yep.
I think it's the communication aspect too. Know that you're communicating immediately to the viewer, and even though a lot of people think it's pretty simple, just reading a script, it's interesting how hard they find it if you put them in front of the camera
Oh,
and say,
yeah.
hey, go do it.
Quick.
Yeah.
Panic. Yeah, I wasn't really good at reading at school, so I don't think I'll be doing the old teleprompter. I'll be like, because your eyes would just follow along too, wouldn't they?
You get used to
Yeah.
it, and it's easier now that it's electronic. It's smoother than
Smoother, all the
paper rustling through the
Oh, yes.
monitor.
So that's pretty exciting. Is it competitive as well amongst the other staff?
Yes, I think for many years when I was hoping to be promoted to the news reading role, other people were brought in and got
Yeah.
the job, and you're kind of like, yeah, I missed it again. And
Do you get self, why do they get it? Is it because they look or is it the read?
Do that,
Yeah.
sure. And I think it's a lot of variables, and it depends who's the news manager at the time. too.
So is it like, a normal job? If you're not performing, that's it. Sorry, you're out.
I
Is
think
there a
the
rating thing?
The ratings are a big decider.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah,
how do you keep on top?
I think.
Especially when you've got to keep the cleavage at a certain height,
And the hair at a certain length.
length.
And if a hair's out of place, that's a big issue too.
Really?
You've got to be careful with the hair.
It's petite as that.
I call it the news helmet.
Oh, yeah.
And it's sort of frozen.
Looks like
face with the
fake,
hairspray.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it's nice to go out and wear something a bit funky and
Yes.
different. You're sort of rebelling against that news straitjacket thing that you have to wear every night.
So what have you got that the others don't?
Oh,
What's your edge? Come on.
No.
Come on.
Everyone is individual and everyone has their own positive aspects. Like
Yeah.
the other newsreaders who I admire, and some I think, oh, no, I don't like the way they do that, but I think everybody has something that makes them special.
So have you ever been affected by a story that you've had to view and just go, my goodness?
I think being a mother now, especially seeing children, stories, tragedies that involve children, are particularly heart-wrenching. I think, and I suppose it's a cliche, but the obvious major tragedies internationally, like September 11, Princess Diana, those major issues that come up, when you read them, because they're in the news constantly for so many days at a time, you're reading them again and again, and it becomes quite overwhelming sometimes. I think September 11, the crunch point for me, where I did tear up, and I hate that on air. I think
come on.
It's not broadcast news.
I think that caught everybody back though. I think what you get a call, quick run in now, we need you, and it's like frantic. I think every newsreader was just looking completely dazed and confused at that stage.
The story that really cut me was the mother in America talking about that last phone call from her son.
Yeah.
And now I've got a son. I'm like,
How do you see, doing the news all the time, how do you see the world through your eyes?
I think it makes you more grateful for what you have, because you are confronted with so much tragedy and negativity, and it probably, in a bizarre way, perverse way, it makes you a happier person, I think.
Yeah, I guess you decipher what you want to decipher and things like that. Are you allowed to have an opinion? I know on news people say, well, you can't take an opinion, especially politics.
Well, we have our opinions between stories.
Yes.
We have our discussions on the news desk and with the crew. And
the lights go down and you go, God, what a load of rubbish.
Yeah, absolutely. Occasionally Mel will throw in a line, or I will, but you don't want to do it too often because, again, it looks very frontline.
Yeah.
And I think frontline did change the way people perceive news, and probably for the better, because a lot of it was very contrived and corny. And
so you'd have a lot of influence on people then if you had your own opinion.
Look at that.
Yeah, I know. Just over the bump. Over the bump. Cheers. Have another one. That's all right. Well, it's a smooth sort of ride.
White and pink.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So you're balancing that and also obviously having children.
Yes, that is a juggle. It is a big juggle.
How are you doing? You're a miracle mum.
My Palm Pilot with me.
That's the secret.
Palm Pilot. And I always was a diary girl, the writing and crossing out the task. But it was given one by Alan for Christmas, and I thought, great Christmas present will be. I don't want that.
No, you live by it.
I started using it. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And
can't live without it. No. It's like if you lose your mobile, that's it. Life's over.
Because you can repeat tasks, and you put in yearly tasks and weekly tasks, and remember everything the kids are doing.
Birthdays, the whole thing.
I like to be I am a very organised person. In fact, some people think too
organised. Yes.
I like punctuality and all that stuff.
Okay, we're going to come back after the break and chat more about everything. Okay, coming up this week on Satisfaction, we're in the backseat of the Lincoln King limo with the lovely Toddy Goldsmith.
Lincoln King limo.
Lincoln King limo. It's a bit of a trick, isn't it? You should say it 3 times.
Lincoln King limo, Lincoln King limo, Lincoln King limo.
It's a bit like that. So stay tuned next week for the lovely Toddy Goldsmith. Welcome back to the Lincoln King limo. We're here with Jennifer Hansen, diving into the history of Channel 10 and the news. So this half, we're going to talk about you and your personal life. We'll get a little bit personal, but before then, we've got a section called the Quick 10.
The Quick 10.
So we're going to ask you a couple of questions and use off the top of your head. Okay, worst habit?
Eating ice cream out of the tub with a spoon without putting it in another bowl. I get in trouble for that.
Who tells you off for that one?
Husband.
Bad sample for the children? Yeah. Okay, what's she saying?
Just do it. Like Nike, I just, you get sick of people whinging about things and you just get on and do it.
Is that because you're a doer?
I'm a doer.
You're always just doing it?
I'm always going to write a book or I'm going to do this. I just think,
yeah, exactly. Out there doing it.
Get on with it.
Favourite news program?
Channel 10, First at 5.
First at 5. Okay, your pet hate?
Pet hate. I'm a punctual person, so I hate it when people are late.
Oh yes, it's my thing too.
Yes.
Are you? I'm pretty early.
Like BHP.
BH.
BHP.
H. Oh dear. Okay. Truth or dare?
Truth.
Truth. You're not a dare. You don't want to take gambles. No, you're straight there. Okay. Your worst moment?
We're talking personally or?
Yeah, let's go anything. Any worst experience. You know, it could be cutting your finger where you're cutting a sandwich.
Being dumped by your first serious boyfriend, that's the worst moment. Or probably journalistically speaking, most frightening was being on the scene of the Russell Street bombing without exactly knowing what was going on.
Yep.
And a policewoman died on the scene. So that was pretty
that is crazy. That's really bad. Okay. Favourite food?
From the tragic to the ridiculous.
Yes.
Chocolate.
Oh, it's too easy. Too easy. Okay, your all-time best favourite movie?
Oh, there's a couple there. Broadcast news. Holly Hunter's fantastic.
Holly Hunter?
Yeah.
You the Holly Hunter?
I love Holly Hunter. And also from an early age, one of the most influential films, My Brilliant Career.
Okay. Yep. Are you getting into kids' movies now that you got, you know?
Oh, yeah, we know all the kids' movies. I mean, you know, Finding Nemo and Shrek 2 is
Shrek 2,
fantastic.
yes, that'll have to be the latest.
Shrek 2, yeah.
Okay, best holiday destination?
Bali. I was proposed to in Bali. And then we went to Lombok for our honeymoon.
Nice. We're going to talk a bit about that soon. Favourite karaoke song?
Yeah, you know I do. We love karaoke at home.
We do.
And yes, it's very easy because you just plug the microphone into the DVD player and off you go. And I think it's just a lot of fun because of Alan being an actor and having a lot of theatrical friends. People love to sing, and when people come back for a drink or a party, the microphone comes out, and it's not like it's the focus of the night, but it's amazing the talent you find among your friends.
And your favourite song was?
My favourite song, I Will Survive.
I Will Survive. Do you get right in there? How much, you know?
10 champagnes, I'm hot.
You're on the coffee table, you're dancing around.
Yeah, it's actually, the embarrassing thing is when Alan takes photos and you look back at them a couple of days like, oh my God.
Oh, what were we thinking?
You thought I was a rock star. Yeah.
Oh, do you do like a duo?
Oh yeah, we do lots of duets. Yes, we do.
Not the Jason Kylie thing, no?
To the chapel gonna get married. That one? Yeah, we love that.
There you go, keep going. Now you got the rhythm. Now we're talking. Now we're going to talk about Alan and we're going to talk about love.
Push me and then just hurt me till I can get my satisfaction.
Push me and then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction.
Push me and then just hurt me till I can get my satisfaction.
And a few other things that I might not mention.
Really satisfies me. Swimming in the ocean. There you go.
What satisfies me? Freedom of speech, peace and children, and beautiful men.
What satisfies you?
Life.
Indeed. I'm all for that.
When did it all happen?
Well, a long time ago, because we've now been married for 14 years.
14, wow.
And met Fletch, as we call him, for short.
Fletch, yep.
When I was 22. Well, I had met him before that when he was married previously and I had another boyfriend, but then a year or so later I met him when we were out one night and found out that he was no longer married. And
do you have stars in your eyes?
He's pretty cute,
Yeah.
he's pretty cute. And we just clicked, we just clicked with somebody, and we were at the last laugh, and there was an act on, and that was fabulous, but we weren't really listening because we just talking.
Yeah, laughing.
The group we were with went down the road to the club, and Paul Kelly was playing. Paul Kelly.
There you go.
And we went upstairs to the cocktail bar and he bought me a special cocktail with all decorations, and I have still got to this day the plastic giraffe that was...
Oh no, you're one of them. Sentimental, romantic, hopeless romantic. There you go.
We actually renewed our wedding vows at the 10-year mark.
Wow.
Not because we are that terribly soppy and sentimental, but our daughter at the time, who was 4, loved watching our wedding video, and she'd say, but where am I? Why aren't I there? Do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be kind of cute.
Oh, was she the little
flower girl?
Flower girl, all the roses?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was actually, even though I thought at the time, well, this is pretty corny.
Yeah. It's kind of nice.
When you actually do it, it's almost, it was actually better than a wedding because you know each other so well by that point.
More personal.
Reaffirm what you've gone through 10 years before that. We had the same vicar.
Oh, really?
Reverend Harlan Butley.
What did he say? Are you back? What happened? Is there something I didn't know about him?
Really lovely thing to do. It was great. Yeah.
So what was the pinnacle moment when you thought, nah, he's the one. He's the one.
Well, I kind of knew we did live together before we got married.
Yep.
And I thought,
Sinner.
This is it, sinner. And
trial run.
Then we went to Bali for a 3-week holiday. And I kind of thought, we were a done deal.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for the proposal.
So were you egging him on?
Mind, though, he wanted to see if we could travel Bali for 3 weeks,
yes.
doing it on the cheap, staying in
How rough can you do
places
it?
with just cold water or a toilet and cold, And he wanted to see if I could cope, and he thought maybe I was just the 5-star hotel girl.
And check out what you look like in the morning after a hard, cold shower and everything.
And 3 weeks continuously together.
And you did
all
it.
that stuff, and then
So you got one of those T-shirts, I survived Bali. Then got married on the back.
No, we did climb to the top of a volcano at 5 o'clock in the morning to see the sunrise.
Oh, beautiful.
Tour. That was
You are a romantic, aren't you?
I am.
You am. So what did he do when he popped the question? Where were
I
you?
got a bit suspicious when we were at a restaurant and a bottle of Moet came out because, in Bali that's pretty lavish. It's
pricey.
And we were on a budget then, and I thought, here we go. But he's normally a very confident man and very articulate. I've got to say, he flustered a little bit.
Men do. When it comes to marriage, it's that.
He was kind of talking about where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? What do you think we'll be doing? And do you think
The wee word already.
It was kind of like he was wanting to make sure I'd say yes before he asked. And he said, so what if I asked you if you would marry me, you might say yes. And I said, well, I suppose you'd have to ask.
Can I punch it out of you? So it was sort of romantic in a sense.
It was lovely.
So then how long soon were you married after that?
Well, we figured because we were living together, there was no point in a long engagement. We got married 3 months later.
3 months later, just
so
like that. Wow.
Very organised,
And now have 2 children. Now I want to tell me about the kids.
Veronica is 9 and Tom is 6, and they're both completely different, but both beautiful in their own ways, and keep life very busy.
I bet.
Very busy.
How do you handle that?
Well, that's the thing. People think with my hours it's slack, but a lot of the mornings, you're getting up early by sort of 6:30, 6:45 just to get them
the
off
kids
to
off,
school in time and do all the domestics. And no, we don't have a nanny and we don't have a housekeeper. Well, we have a cleaner once a week to do the basics, but there's a lot of work.
So what are their personalities? Who's like who?
Oh,
who's like
very
mum?
different.
I think we're...
I don't know. Well, Veronica facially looks like I did as a child. She has Ellen's colouring.
Okay.
She's a pretty melodramatic, feisty character.
I saw that.
Tonight, yes.
Yeah,
I want to get my dressing gown on. I want to go see the limo right now.
Before I picked you up, we're in the house and she was just like, I want to see the limo. I want to come in the limo. Very excited, but we had to make her put a dressing gown on, but she just did not want to do that.
And
did a little drama sketch. Very
and
dramatic.
Her saying, if things aren't going her way right now, this is the worst day of my life. Oh, good. But
gotta love them.
A little bit of a few issues there with the learning. She actually is dyslexic, which is a parent I wasn't expecting.
And your son, football freak?
Football fanatic.
Does he handle you? Like, because he'll see you on your news and you have the sports report and he'll be like, can I have...
What drives me nuts is the constant kicking of the football in the house from morning till bedtime. Even when the television's on, we're just running up and down the hallway, throwing, kicking, commenting on football matches, imaginary games in his head or on the telly. He has to watch every football match on the telly or go to the football match, even if it's not his own team. I think he knows more about sport than Stephen Quartermain.
I have a feeling he's going to be a football player.
Well, I wanted to be a commentator because I thought less injuries, but he said, no, I think I'll be a football mum because I'm pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's all that practice around the house, really, isn't it? It's all that beating the wall.
He played at Telstra Dome last week too in the father-son half-time celebrity match. And he was so excited the day before the match. He said, Mum, I can't wait to play on that big oval. This is going to be the biggest match of my career. At 6.
At 6. That's fantastic. So where do you see yourself in 10 years' time from here then?
Well,
is there life after the news?
Because I think television is becoming more accepting of older women. I'm about to hit the big 40.
It's not that much. Yeah, no, you don't look it. Yeah, hello. Yeah.
Who cares?
No.
So that's fine, but I suppose it depends on how the ratings go and how the executives in charge at the time feel about you reading the news.
Well, what would you want to do outside this? I mean, you can only go so far, can't you?
Well, I really enjoy creative writing.
Yeah.
And I would love to write a television program like Sex and the City or Ally McBeal and be involved in the production of that.
Well, you've got the industry. Have you ever used your celebrityness in any way whatsoever to get into places or?
No, but you see, I use the name Fletcher, Jennifer Fletcher, because we're married.
Yeah.
That's what we use for the private life and everything. And I think it's nice for the kids to think the family is one name. And professionally, I use Hansen.
That can be confusing.
So if I wanted to ring up someone and complain about something, I'd probably be Jennifer Fletcher in case they thought I was a bitch.
Oh, okay, yep.
And if I was ringing a restaurant, I thought maybe they might know me. Not that many people do, but maybe I might say Jennifer Hansen and they might give me a good table.
They would. They should. All right. If you're you're watching Jennifer Hansen look after her. Even go up onto the street and say, hello.
Yeah, and then I can nominate them in the Age Good Food Guide.
Yep, there you go. Well, thanks so much for coming on.
Pleasure, thank you.
And to being a part. I think I'm satisfied. Are you satisfied? What satisfies you?
I think a balance in life. We were talking about the balance before. If you can balance career, that gives you self-esteem, makes you feel like you're achieving something. Having good friends and good quality time with friends, a good dinner party with friends, nothing beats that, and a good red wine.